All right, we're gonna throw this guy up on the center stand, and we are actually, probably should do this with 2 hands. We're actually gonna drain the oil out, get this sucker rolling. Guys, we're on the left side of the bike here, and it looks like we have a drain plug. Found it's a 17 millimeter, and I got it broken free. All this junk here. So we're about to find out what's in here. So 17 millimeter. If it's not a drain plug, I guess we'll find that out in a minute. What do you guys think is in here? Milkshake, water, oil, all of the above. Here it comes. Oh, it's all water. Oh boy. All water until the oil decided to join us. That makes sense because water is lighter than oil. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, our oil has turned to gross, chunky crap. Now, we're gonna have to flush this with new oil. This is not gonna work. We don't want any of that water in there. We're gonna have to totally flush this. All right, so we have that. You saw that crap to clean this up. So, mostly oil. Now, let's get the filter out here. Filter's right in behind here. Right in behind all this stuff. There she is. Already cracked her loose. Looks like we might have some oil, actually oil, there, because that's lower in the engine. Let's see what we can get out of there. Oh, still a little bit more oil. It's good. It looks more like oil. It's not all water. Still have watery junk coming out of there. Yeah, we're gonna have to flush this out with good oil. Actually, I could even put dirty oil in this to flush it out. There we go. Yeah, that's not quite as bad. Wherever that water filled up, however level that was all in there. Once this drains out, I don't have to have it on the center stand. I could actually put it on the side stand. That would lean the bike this way. But we got to let all this crap come out. And I could park this inside. And actually, look at that. Look at that. Oil and water don't mix, right? You can see where there's actually oil and where there's straight up milkshake and mixture. You can see right through. That's all water in there. Okay. Now, I don't have another filter at the moment. Actually, I might. I'll have to look. So right now, what we're going to do, drain this out. I'm not going to replace this yet because we don't have a good mixture going in there yet. So I'll clean this filter up. Not saying I'll run it that way, but at least what we have for now would be fine to put this back on once it's clean. But that's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna drop this down onto the kickstand, the side stand, if you will. And that way, we can actually probably drain more of this junk out. All right, dogs are barking, but I got this drain screw cleaned up, so that's ready to go back in. Yes, you're supposed to replace your crush washer here. I never do. Never had a problem. Maybe I did once or twice. Here's our filter. Again, I'm going to replace that when I do the full oil change. But for now, I just want to put oil back in, make sure we get all that water out, clean up what's in there. So I'm going to fill it back up with oil with these parts on, and then we'll go from there. All right, while that's dripping over there, I pulled out the rest of the clutch plates and discs. We got them laying over here, and I want to talk about a wet clutch. So if you've never been in your clutch before, this is what we consider a wet clutch. It sits in your engine housing in the bottom of the crankcase, and your oil from your engine is actually what lubricates your clutch. You can see this is all open to the bottom of the engine there. So your oil's in there, it gets flung around, it actually lubricates. If we had oil in here, it would probably be up to, I don't know, let's see, the dipstick would be about here. So you're gonna have oil in your engine about to here maybe, maybe a little lower. But anyway, it's a wet clutch and it gets in here. So the problem we have with this sitting open for so long and collecting water, I'm sure dirt's gonna get in here. So I've been scraping, I feel like a dentist getting tartar, but I've been scraping dirt out of the bottom here, and there was junk. I'll show you here. There's dirt up and around here. Now, my first thought is I can blow this out, but really that's probably just gonna blow it into the engine, and I don't really want dirt in my engine. So at this point, I think what we're gonna do is wipe up anything that I can actually, I mean, there was dirt sitting in here. Try to get that out without getting it down the engine. So anyway, try and get as much dirt as I can just by kind of picking it out. And then I think what we'll do is not using a gasket, but we'll put a cover on this and refill it with oil. And I think I'll probably use old engine oil just because, like I said, I want to make sure all the water's out of there. So I'm not going to put new fresh oil in there. I mean, that's the smart thing to do, but I'm going to pull it right out anyway. So really putting old engine oil in. Now, I'll probably filter it. I don't know. I'll probably just put good new oil in. And it doesn't matter which weight, because I actually don't know what I'm putting in here yet anyway. Usually Rutella, what is it? Rutella T6? Rutella T5. Usually that's what we do. So I'll fill this up with oil so that we can get out whatever dirt, junk, whatever's in there yet that's not water. And maybe let that sit in there for a little bit just to make sure it gets a good soaking with actual oil and not water. And then go ahead, put the new clutch plates and discs in here and the new parts, and put this, after we do that oil change, put this all back together. And then we need to look into the clutch, but by the time we get to that point, then I'll know if I can run this bike. So we're probably going to try starting it after that. We don't actually need a clutch in order to run the bike. So I'd like to see if it starts. If there's no gas in the tanks, there may not be any in the carburetor. So I'm hoping, put oil back in this, close it up, and then try and get it started. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put some more oil in this. I could probably just dump it in there if I wanted to. But here's our oil fill and our dipstick. So we'll fill it up with some oil now. Oh, I need to put the drain plug back in. That would be smart. And we'll get this, get some fresh oil in here. Close this up so it's not getting moisture in there. We'll drain that. Then we'll put good oil in it. And then we'll go from there. Guys, thanks to eBay, I got my whole side cover here. And yeah, we'll do add up all the money I've spent. But anyway, really a very nice looking side cover. This is our clutch cover. All the bolts, I kind of had to buy it this way because I wanted all the bolts. So here we go. Gasket actually came off perfectly fine, so we may not even need a new gasket. It is really dirty in here, so I'm going to wipe this out and put this on the bike. All right, guys. I got it buttoned up here, and I'm gonna leave this drain open for a minute because, let's see if I get you down here. Where's that drain? We're still draining out some icky yucky stuff, so I'm actually gonna, the filter is back in. I'm actually gonna dump some old oil down through there. Not much, just a little bit, just to try and drain through and pick up what might be left in there before I top it, put the drain back in. This was just oil I drained out of another vehicle. Obviously it's not clean, but I really just want to, I don't really like where that's sitting. It's ready to spill at any moment. I really just want to run some of this oil down through there. Try and get some decent flow. And put this in there. Now let's go see if we have oil flowing out. We should. Yep, that's my old oil flowing out. And actually, I'm not seeing any water coming through there. So that's actually a good sign. I'm happy with that. So now what I might do, put it back up on the center stand, put this drain bolt in. I'm gonna fill it with that oil. I'll check it with the dipstick. And then let that sit for a day. Oh, there's a little bit of crap coming out. Yeah, it did find some white. See that? So yeah, I want all that out of there. I don't want that junk in there. Definitely not reusing any of this. Ugh. But anyway, I want all that white out of there. That's finding some pockets. So yeah, what I'm gonna do, drain plug back in and fill it up with that old oil. I'm gonna try and let that sit. Maybe we can flush out all the old junk. Yep, still finding some stuff in the pockets in there. What we could do on a different bike is drop the oil pan, but this doesn't have an oil pan on the bottom, I don't think. It's, you'd have to split the case in half, and that means taking the engine out. So we're not doing that. Not for this. Not for this. So seal this back up. Get in there. Gotta get it past this coolant line or something. So now the engine is sealed up from the clutch case to the drain to the oil filter. So everything's sealed back up. There we go. Fill it up with oil. I have never put any oil in a vehicle that looked worse than this stuff. But I'm not running it. I'm just trying to use it to suck up some water. All right, almost to the bottom of this. Okay, yep, we got some oil in there. So again, seal it up, let it sit for a little while. We're not running this, by the way, guys. I told you that. So let it sit for a little while, do its thing, and we'll come back to it later.